Hey everyone, it's Miss Linder, and here we have lesson 18, and I'd like you to go ahead and take a moment to read through the teacher notes that are listed in your notes, and I want you to make sure when you push play again that you have underlined where it gives you the formula for direct variation. So go ahead and pause, and please underline the formula. All right, so you should have underlined right here where it says direct variation is y is equal to kx. And I want to go ahead and point out down here I've also written some other information that y is equal to kx, or y over x is equal to k, which is also known as the slope. So I just want you to notice that we were doing problems with linear equations where we had slope was the m, which is in front of the x, and then we were adding the b, the bomb. So you'll notice that the slope is also known as k, the constant, because there's always going to be the same pattern over and over. So therefore that k is also that slope. Okay, so the constant is slope. All right, so it says that the direct variation is the situation in which two quantities, such as hour and pay, distance and time, increase and decrease at the same rate. Remember, that would be slope because the rate stayed the same, happened the same, the constant. All right, so let's see. A mechanic who is paid hourly knows that working hours, longer hours mean more money. That's because his pay is directly related to the number of hours he works. Makes sense. A race car driver completing 100 laps, making a pit stop, is better than completing only 80 because the distance is directly proportional to the time when driven at a constant speed. So the longer he or she drives, the more distance they'll cover. And other examples would be circumference varies directly because you have the relationship of the K is the pi. And the area of an oil spill on land varies directly to the volumes. The bigger the volume of the actual oil spill, the larger area would be covered. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about this slide, where I've written K is the constant. You want to keep remembering that K is the constant. It's the thing that's going to stay the same, such as my hourly rate. Okay, if I were to charge you something per hour, my rate stays the same. However, the amount of money you pay me varies directly with the amount of hours that I work for you. So let's look at number one. The weekly salary a woman earns, S, varies directly as the number of hours she works. That makes sense because the more I work, the more money I make. So we're going to express this relationship as a formula. So I went ahead and put both equations down. So let's see. Are we trying to find the constant, the thing that's happening the same, or are we just stating the relationship? We're basically saying the relationship. So here we have, oops, I'm getting used to this new system, sorry. So you should have that S. We don't know how much she gets paid an hour, so that's the constant, and then the H. Okay, the constant would be how much she got paid an hour. All right, let's look at number two. If M varies directly as Y, okay, so that's giving us the statement, saying that there's a relationship. So make sure you're writing this down. A relationship. And M is 6 when Y is 36. We're going to find the constant. So the constant is what we're finding. The K is unknown. So which equation would we want to use? Well, let's see. So M varies directly as Y. So where we have Y, we're going to put the M. All right, so we're going to have 36 over 6. And that's going to give you the constant, the thing that happens the same. because remember we have y over x, and it's equaling the constant. All right, let's look at number 3. A varies directly as B, so there's your relationship. If A is 3 when B is 24, find B when A is 10. All right, so if A varies directly as B, and the next time A is 10, we don't know B. So now we have a proportional relationship because there's some type of relationship that happens. So what we can do here is crisscross applesauce. So that's 3 times B, 10 times 24. So B would be equal to 80. So we found the relationship by using the cross multiply. All right, so let's look at number 4. There are about 200 calories in 50 grams of Swiss cheese. So there's the relationship. Willie ate 70 grams of this cheese. About how many calories were in the cheese? So here's the relationship. So for every 200, we have 50 grams. So we have calories over grams. So 200 over 50. Willie ate 70. So that's grams. We want to know how many calories. So you're going to do cross multiply. So that gives you 50C equals 14,000. And we're going to divide both sides by 50. It gives you 280. Okay? So there was a relationship happening, and we found it by doing proportions. All right, so let's look at the chart here. When you have a chart, does one variable directly with the other? Is there a relationship? So the first one we have is x and then y. So we're going to find the constant by having y over x. We want to see if there's a pattern. Remember, the k is the pattern. It happens over and over. So let's go ahead and set up one up. We have 6 over 3. We have 8 over 4. And we have 10 over 5. All right, so is there a relationship? Well, if we were to divide 6 by 3, we'd find it was by 2. 8 divided by 4 is also 2, and 10 divided by 5 gives you 2. So is there a constant, a relationship that stays the same? Yes. Then the answer would be yes. The variables have a relationship. All right, let's look at number 6. We have x and y already there for us. Remember, the constant is y over x. So we're going to go ahead and place a few of them together to see if we have a relationship. 1 divided by 1, 4 divided by 2, 9 divided by 3, 12 divided by 4. So let's see. 1 divided by 1 gives you 1. 4 divided by 2 gives you 2. 9 divided by 3 gives you 3. 12 divided by 4 gives you 3. I don't quite see a relationship that takes place that is constant. So there is no pattern. All right, so let's look at number 7. We're going to go ahead and see if we can plug in those missing things. So we have y equals kx, or the constant equaling y over x. So So let's see, we have x. Remember, the first row is always going to be x. The second one's always going to be y. So we have 3 over 1. The relationship is 3. So if we have to plug in, the relationship will stay 3. So our next one to work with is the unknown divided by 2, but it has to end up giving us, when divided, 3. So that means we're going to work it backwards, which means we're going to multiply. So y would be 6. And then we have 15 is given as the y, but the unknown is x. So the relationship should be 3. So 15 divided by 5 would give you 15, or 15 divided by 5 would give you the constant of 3. So that's the pattern that happens over and over. All right, let's look at number 8. Remember, we're trying to find the relationship. It says write the relation as a formula using K for the constant. The resistance of R of a copper wire varies directly as its length. So we would have R is equal to KL. Number 9, they want us to find the commission, write the formula. All right, so let's see if we can find out who stays the same. We got to find out if there's a constant. Is the constant in this sentence? So there's what's happening for every we get $100 for every 1,000, and they want to find $17.50. So the relationship is y over x. Here we have x and then y. So we have 1,000 divided by 100. Okay, so then we have the sales over commission. And now we have to plug in that $17.50. So the $17.50 is the commission. The commission is on the bottom. Oh, we want the commission. Sorry, I misread it. So this is unknown. So I'm going to put an X, make that a big long X. Sorry about that. And we found that we had $17.50 in sales. They want to find the commission. All right, so that is a crisscross situation. So we have 1,000 x is equal to 175,000. I'm going to divide that by 1,000. And so x was equal to 175. All right, so let's look at number 10. Number 10 says y varies directly as x squared. A little different there. And y is equal to 8, and x is equal to 2. So we have y over x. So we have 8. Oops. So, still trying to figure out this new system that I'm using. So sorry about that. This should be 2. Can't find the eraser. So now we have to plug in, and it says when x is equal to 1, we need to find out what y is. So we're going to go to crisscross applesauce. 2y is equal to 8. So y is equal to 4. All right, I want you to try number 11 on your own. All right, so it says y varies directly as x. So we have y is equal to k, or not, sorry. I do not like that I can't erase. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to mark that out. The constant is y over x. And it says y varies directly as x and z. And is addition. So now we're going to go ahead and fill that in. So the constant, we have 5 on top. When x and z, 3 and 4. So that gives you 5 over 7. And then we're going to equal it to being x and z, 2 plus 3, and we do not know the y. All right, so we're going to take care of the addition, so that gives us 5/7 equals y over 5. We're going to crisscross applesauce, so that gives me 7y into 25. So that gives me 3.57, so not a great decimal, 3.571. All right, that one is a little difficult for you guys to do on your own, but let's look at number 12. All right, when it comes to having a graph, you need to make sure that you know that for it to have direct variation, it always has to go through the origin. So I want you to write that down on your notes. It always has to go through the origin, which is going to be 0, 0. Okay? So y varies directly as x, so it means there's a relationship. The constant is 1/2, which that means slope. Remember that slope is also the constant. So, and it has to go through the origin. So we're going to go ahead and put a dot at the origin. And we're going to do the slope. The slope is 1/2. So we're going to run 2 and rise 1. Run 2 and rise 1. Run 2 and rise 1. And I now have shown that there is a direct relationship. There is a constant, which is the 1/2, and y will vary directly as x. So my y and my x will always have a relationship, okay, which is the 1/2. All right, this lesson is complete. Your prep work will be worked on in class, during class with me. So please make sure that you have taken all the notes, and thank you for watching.